If you want your photos to look like cinema, then Dehancer is the plugin you're looking for. Alright, let's see how it works.
We're in Lightroom now and we're going to play with this image today. The first thing we want to do is crop the image. So I'm going to press R on the keyboard and I'm just going to crop it a little bit. Now we need to prepare the image for Dehancer. So what that means is we need to make the image look flat. This is the settings recommended by Dehancer. So we're going to go exposure -1, contrast -40. So let's go and change it. Contrast -40, and I actually created a preset for this setting, so I'm just going to click on that preset and it will take us to flat stage. I like to open the blacks to 100, so I'm just going to drag it to 100. You can download both of these presets from link in the description below. Our image is ready. We're going to right click on the image and we'll go to edit in Dehancer. And these settings will pop up. We just got to make sure this is a 16-bit file and color space is sRGB. So let's click on edit, and it's creating a copy of the file and it will open the copy in Dehancer. Now we're in Dehancer, let's maximize the window. Alright, let's have a quick overview of the panels. So on the left hand side we have profiles and presets. So profiles is where we can select different film profiles, and preset is just presets. So if you're in rush, preset can be a really good place to start. And on the top panel we have the option to turn the left panel off and on. Then you have settings. This is where we go to download new film profiles and also to activate the license. Then we have reset. If we click on this button, then it's gonna bring the image to initial stage. We can also press R on the keyboard to reset. Then we have undo, redo. And on the right hand side we have the histogram. This will open and close histogram. We can press I on the keyboard to open and close histogram as well. If we scroll up, then the image is going to zoom in, and scroll down will zoom out, and we can click on this button, fit to screen. We can also double click on the image for the same function. Then we have review. So this is before and after. So at the moment we're not seeing any changes because we haven't made any changes yet. If we make some changes, if we burn it up and then go before and after, or we can press spacebar to see before and after as well. And on the right hand side we have some sliders to edit the image. Now let's start with the left hand side. Now you don't have to choose the film profile. If you want other effects like rain or halation or bloom, you can select it from the right hand side. But for this example, we're gonna start with the film profile. We're in profile section now and we need to tick on this box to turn this on. And we can click on the film profile and the image will change based on the profile we selected. We can also use our keyboard shortcut up and down to change the film profile. So just go through the profiles and see which one you like. So let's say we like this one. The next thing we wanna do is close this section. We don't need this section anymore. So just click on this icon on top. It's gonna close that. We can just zoom out a bit using the scroll down function on the mouse. Now let's move to the right section. These are standard controls from Lightroom. We have exposure, we have color temperature. So let's warm it up a bit. We'll move it to the right just a little bit. Let's play with tint as well. Do we want more magenta? Or do we want more green? I think I like green more. Then we have deep range. If we have any chromatic aberration in the image, then this will fix it. So let's zoom in and let's look in the middle. We can see the red border around this white thing. And if we just increase the difference a bit, then it's gonna get rid of that red line. So let's double click on the image to fit the image on screen. Let's look at film compression. So film compression will compress the highlights very nicely. So let's scroll down to expand. So expand is our black and white. So if you want to increase our contrast of the image, then we can increase the black a little bit more. And then we can move the white slider to the left, and it's gonna brighten up the whites in the image. We can click on this button to show before and after. So that's before, that's after. So the effect seems a bit strong to me. So instead of normal, I will select Luma. So it's only gonna affect the alpha channel, the luminance channel. So it's not gonna impact the color. So let's click on Luma. And let's go before and after. Alright, let's look at print section now. So print section is when we print the image on a paper. That paper has its own texture, own color to it, and that's what this print section is for. So let's enable this section. I selected Kodak Endura glossy paper, so you can just click on this drop down and select anything else we like. So we have linear, Sanian, Fuji, Kodak. I think for this image I like Kodak Endura. Alright, let's scroll down to color head. So color head is the area where we can grade the image. So let's enable this section. So let's say we want cyan in the shadows. So let's push cyan in. So I'm gonna drag this slider and move it to the left. The image looks a bit green. Let's push it a little bit magenta, and then just for one of the image, let's put a bit more yellow in. Let's go before and after. If the effect seems too strong for you, then we can always play with the impact slider. So let's bring it down to 90. Let's scroll down to film grain, take that section, and grain is going to be applied to the image. If the grain seems too strong for you, then we can go to film type, and from negative we can select positive, and it's going to be finer grain. Still have grain, but not as pronounced. And we can obviously play with these sliders to see how grain impacts different areas of the image. So let's say if we want less grain in the highlights, we can just bring this down, and it's not going to impact the highlights that much. To go back to the default settings, we can just double click on this circle and it'll go back to where it was before. Let's scroll down and let's look at halation. So halation creates a red border in the high contrast area. So let's click on this. So let's zoom in a bit because it might be a bit difficult to see. So if we untick this one, let's look at this area. Untick in, we can see what it's doing to the image. So before, after, before, after. Let's look at bloom. So bloom adds like a glow to the highlights. So if we tick the section, we can see how it's adding the glow in the highlights, and we can obviously play with the sliders for finer control. And lastly, we have vignette. So let's click on this. Seems a bit strong to me, so I'm going to increase the size, and let's go before, after. Once it's done, we can click on OK, and it will close Dehancer and take us to Lightroom. Now if we want to look at before and after, we can highlight this two image, click on N, I'll press tab, L to change the brightness of the background. So this is where we started. So this was our flat image, and this is the edited image. For this example, we played with pretty much all the sections in Dehancer, but if you're in a rush, then you might want to use the presets. So let's have a look. So I'm going to press L on the keyboard to go back to normal view. Let's play with this image. The first thing is obviously we need to flatten the image. So I'm going to click on this preset, then right click and go to edit in, Dehancer, click on edit, maximize the window. Before going to presets, I'm going to press R on the keyboard to reset. And also I'm going to press I to hide the histogram. We're in the Dehancer theme section now. We can just click on the image and just use keyboard shortcut up and down, and we can see how the image is changing. They also have feature presets, so we can click on this drop down, go to feature presets. These are probably made by other artists. This is pretty nice. Let's say we want to compare some presets. I'm going to select 800T, and on the image at the bottom right hand corner there's a heart icon, so we'll click on this. So it's added to my favorites. Now let's move on. I think I like this one as well. So we added some presets to our favorites. So let's click on this drop down. Let's go to favorites. So we can just click on this presets and we can choose which one we like the most. And once it's done, just click on OK to close Dehancer. So once again, so this is where we started and this is where we landed. Pretty cool, eh?
Now that we know a bit more about the plugin, let's talk about some of the things I wish they had. So the way I edit my photos is I go through the film profiles and I pick the ones I like. I added them to favorites, and we can go to that section to see a small thumbnail of those images. But what I wish I could do is just maximize the window so it takes like more real estate. Let's say if I select 6 profiles, then I want to see 6 images on full screen. At the moment, we can click on the image and it's going to show the full screen, but it would be nice if we had an option to select multiple images and compare them side by side within Dehancer. Now that's something we can do in Lightroom. We just need to create another virtual copy of the image and then we'll be able to compare that images. But I wish they had the option built in within Dehancer. At the moment, Dehancer is designed to deal with one image at a time. It does a great job, but I wish there was an option to just quickly copy settings from one image and paste it to another one. If you want your digital footage to look like it was shot on film camera, then yes, you need Dehancer. It's mind-blowing that how quickly we can come up with a look using this plugin. And they have 63 frame profiles to choose from and a bunch of effects which can make your photo look like it was a scene from a movie. So if you're into that look, definitely give this a go. You can download the trial version from their website, and when you're ready to buy, you can use Emulation to get 10% discount. I'll get a small kickback from them at no additional cost to you. If you got any value out of this video, then don't forget to hit like and subscribe for new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.